Let's give a big hand to the Primate Fiasco out here tonight. These guys are marching out here with us today. So first up, we have music in our cannabis march, and it was a great addition, so thank you guys. I want to thank all of you for coming out here to Philly Normal's TLA concert, being part of the beginning of this. We go until 2 a.m. But somebody special came on up from Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, actually, tonight. I want to give you a guy here who is one of the hardest working men on this issue for marijuana for reform in America. And Philly Normal is just one of 140 normal chapters around the country. But there's a national office in Washington, D.C., and they're lobbying Congress right now. And they also help keep all 140 of us together. So here's Alan St. Pierre, National Normal's Executive Director.
Hey, Philly Blunttown. Every 38 seconds, somebody's arrested for marijuana charges in this country. But I think every single person here, including myself, we all know before we're pushing up daisies, the law is going to change, right?
Yeah.
In the same way that we're here as responsible adults enjoying alcohol, there's no doubt that we ought to be enjoying marijuana and fine hash right here in Philadelphia. How many of you have gone out to places like California and Colorado in the last 5 to 7 years? Is that a freedom you want as well? Why are people on the West Coast freer than us on the East Coast? There's a disconnect here, is there not? Philadelphia Normal has done a great thing here today by celebrating freedom, by putting on a concert, by inviting all of its friends and like-minded businesses. And here we are on the precipice of change. In the next couple of weeks, the U.S. Congress is going to do something that none of us have ever seen in our entire lives. And I can tell you right now from this stage, in a couple of weeks, the U.S. Congress is going to introduce a legalization bill.
Whoa.
And in the dynamics of the presidential election coming up there, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, pox on both their houses. They were the ones that created this 74-year prohibition, and ultimately, legislators need to end it. But we'll keep putting the pressure on initiatives. We'll keep doing these lawsuits. We'll keep doing medical marijuana legislation wherever possible. Right now in this country, 120 million Americans live where marijuana is decriminalized. And because of the efforts of Philadelphia Normal, effectively speaking, here, marijuana is now decriminalized. That happened because people got together, saw the data. It was absolutely clear the expense, the racial disparity, the outrage. And to the credit of your elected leaders, particularly the DA's office and the police department, they looked at this, and the people that are looking at it now are baby boomers. I'm 45 years old, so we're talking about my parents. Maybe if you're 20 years old, my generation. We're the ones now that are largely looking at these laws and saying, does this even make any sense anymore? So, please, get involved. If you're not involved with Philly Normal or New Jersey Normal, please, you gotta change the laws where you live locally. As I've demonstrated here, there are many, many states and municipalities that have changed the laws. And we're never going to see legalization in this country as long as 50% of the public, according to our focus and polling groups, 50% of the public still fear marijuana more than alcohol. That makes no sense. I could smoke every nanogram of marijuana in Philadelphia. I'd like to try. And you know what would happen? I'd have a really huge case of the munchies, which I could sate in this town very well. I'd get really sleepy, and in about 6 or 7 hours, I'd get up and I'd do it all over again. But if I walked out to that bar and I drank 10, 15, 20 fluid ounces of anything over 80 proof, I'm dead. So there's just no comparison. We're not anti-alcohol, clearly, but the idea that We are all living in a time when alcohol is legal and kills about 100,000 people a year. Drunk driving, male-to-male violence, male-to-female violence is exasperated by it. And even worse and more bizarre, 400,000 people a year die because they choose to smoke tobacco. It's taxed, it's legal. And in my lifetime, if you put it up on a chart, the government's reduced its use by 50%. We didn't drug test anybody for that. We didn't take away their student loans. We didn't racially profile. We didn't destabilize our important international borders. How did we reduce the instance of something so deadly and so addictive? We didn't use the fucking DARE program. We didn't use the Partnership for Drug-Free America ads. We have verifiable and credible information and common sense. And so please, use your common sense and your feet, like you did today with 1,000 people walking down South Street. Please, stay involved with these reforms, because if you're not, this is not manna from heaven. You have to fight for these reforms. So thank you, enjoy the night. Thank you very much, you guys, for lending your support. We cannot do this without the creative community. Thank you.
Alan St. Pierre, Normal's Executive Director.